Honourable judges, ladies and gentlemen, I am from the opposition team that against the motion. The motion is this House prefers strategy of using institutional reform to address police abuse or misconduct rather than defunding the police. So, because the previous team, the affirmative team, doesn't give the definition, I will give the definition, so we can follow up this debate without any problem. So, police is a force, an organized combining civil force to maintaining order, preventing and detecting crime, and enforcing the laws. And then strategy. What is strategy? Is science of art, combining and employing the means of war in a planning, directing in a military or in officer operations. Institutional reform. What is institutional reform? Institutional reform is the process of reviewing and restructuring state institutions so that they respect human rights, preserve rule of law, and accountable to their constituents. And then defund is withdraw financial support, especially as instrument of legislative control. So the whole definition of this motion is this House or the affirmative teams want to make institutional reform instead of defunding the police. That we actually oppose that. Our team line is just strongly opposed that. We strongly disagree to pushing institutional reform rather than defunding the police. Why? I will give you the data, but first of all, I want to give you the logical fallacy that occurs in the previous speech in a first affirmative thing. So the first one is they said to institutional reforms is to place things such as body cameras, trainings, and other calm reform measures that can be implementing so that the police will not misbehave because they have the cameras and stuff. But it's already done and it is not effective. Because why it's not effective? Because we can see that the camera in the body can be easily turned off and then make the bad decision and stuff, that bad behavior and stuff by the police, because police have a control for this. It is not effective at all, because we can see a lot of case, like the case of Mitchell. It is the case that the police is purposely turn off the camera because the police want to make the misbehave. And then the case of George Floyd, the body camera is released long after the chaos that already occurs, because they have to reevaluate them and stuff and censoring them. But it is ineffective. It is ineffective. We can see from that. And then the affirmative team said that if we defund the police, it means we reduce, so it will less effective to fight the crime. But in our opinion, in our perspective, our point of view based on the data, if you have a lot of officer but not in a good quality, it will be the same. It will not solve any problem, because we can see a lot of police that just eating donuts and make arrest and being in arrest, like they don't even trying to solve the crime. It's because the quality of the officer, because to become an officer, it just needs 6 months training. It's impossible. If you think about that, it is impossible if you think about that. So, and the second is, the first affirmative team said that it is because of, it is not racial, is because of the environment. It's people don't born racist. Yes, it's true. I agree with that. But in other way, this is a systematic problem. This systematic racial problem. It's not just like you born in specific community and then you will disrespect other community. It's because this is a systematic racial problem. It can make it is there is government involved in this, not just because the person itself, but the government this not good behavioral government is have involving to do with the races. So the government can place the school with the only black community, it is not just about the person, it's about the government. So we really have to defend that. So I will derive my point here. My first point is policing in the US was established to maintain white supremacy. So if we see this is a systematic problem, so if you see from the government itself, just accept like the white privilege and all this stuff. So it can be effective if we don't defund, if we just make the institutional reform, not defund the police. And then body cameras, training, and other so-called reform measure would not end cycle of police violence. Yes, because what I tell to you, that it is, police have this control to all that, their trainings, their body cameras, and it will not effective. And then police fund is take the money that we can use to other good stuff, other good purpose, such as healthcare or education. Here's the thing, if we use the logic, rather than we have a lot of police, we can use the funding that we already give to the police to recruit a lot of police. We can use that funding around, it's a lot of like spend 100 billion a year. We can relocate it to the education so that the students have a lot of education and they can be a grown man that respect the society. So we don't need a lot of police. We can see in a country, if we see the statistic, if we see the fact, we can see like Iceland doesn't need a lot of police. Norway too, Denmark too. So why we need the police rather than we funding the schools or healthcare or all the vital programs? So we strongly oppose that we just make the institutional reform rather than defunding the police. And then our tax, the American people tax, should be invested more humane than just alternative to police. So it is well if we use the tax money not to the police but to a lot of vital company or vital institutions rather than just the police. If we defund the police, it will absolutely make America, or in this case America, is the better place, because we can use this money to education, to healthcare. It can become the nationality of the country. This country can be the better country because of investing to that kind of field. So see the advantage of defunding the police. We oppose to just make an institutional reform. So yeah, that is my point, and that is our point as the opposition team. So thank you so much.